Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malika. So, Likers, we are doing a critical review of Mr. Aloy's series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 26. It starts with, what's his name? Jonathan, who saw that his wife was just minding her business. Him, now it's time to do big people things, because as there's one thing about life, you need to know how to run your mouth. After running his mouth, making Clara to understand that that is not her child. That is why she let her boyfriend do forceful entry on his daughter, and now he's trying to want her to pay the hospital bills. So how is it possible that you talk all these things to this woman, making her know that the daughter is not hers, your daughter is not hers, but she should pay the bills? Why is she paying the bill? Why? Why is she paying the bill? You said it's not her child, which means you, that you're the father, should pay the bill. He said, and he has the nerve, to make it sound like if she doesn't pay that bill, she should not even bother coming to that house. She should not even bother stepping her feet. Like, which house? Is it the same house that she was the one who paid the rent? Like, some men are just crazy. I can't lie to you people. Some men are just crazy. They are husbands when they want to be husbands. You cannot even bring down yourself. You're giving orders, telling her how things are supposed to be done in a house that you are unable to pay the rent. You're stopping her from entry if she does not, because it's or giving her ultimatum. If you don't pay the bill, you'll not enter the house that she paid the rent. Does it make sense? Does it even make sense at all? And it's and you want a woman like this to respect you. I can't lie, I am so stubborn in a way that there are certain things I cannot even fathom, because I don't think Clara will even want to respect, this man. Because to her, are you not a man? Pay your child's hospital bill. You say she's not my child. So how come when it comes time to pay bill, she should pay, and you want to use corner, you want to use Connie method? You think you're too corny. You want to use a corny method to be like, if you don't pay, don't. Which house did you pay rent? A house that you couldn't afford to pay rent. You couldn't afford, but you're saying that she will not enter that same house, and you're even warning. I like the way I thought that Clara was going to give in for real. I like the way she put him in his place, and started regretting why she married somebody like him. Because yes, if he will be, which means he's a 50-50 type, but you call yourself an African man, you call yourself a traditional man. How can you be a traditional man when you're splitting bills with your wife? You're not a traditional man. You're a modern day man. You are a man who does not believe that there's no gender equality. It's not like that war. There's not even supposed to be a war like that. You're that type that does that believe in that. Because why would you come after insulting this woman? You want her to pay your bills. Clara was like, I'm not having it. Please go and pay your bills. Okay, go and do what you're supposed to do. Go and do the needful and count me out. Keep me out of it. I like that. So the next scene shows Kenny sleeping in his car. He was exhausted. He has been at the hospital all day. And Jonathan, as usual, beggy. Now Jonathan seeing that Clara means business. Clara's not giving a cent. She's not giving a dime. Jonathan wants his friend Kenny to lend him money. But now Jonathan is going as if, he's this type that's so proud. He's broke and proud. You understand? He's so proud, he will not apologize to his wife. He will not want to beg her for anything. He just wants that things should be done the way it should be done, without him lifting a finger. So now he's he's going to beg for money, for his friend to lend him some money. But instead of, begging peacefully, he's damning his wife, condemning his wife. The same woman that your friend who is your true friend, knows very well that woman has been nothing but good to you. Yes, because Kenny made him to understand that, guy, if I were you, I'll go and apologize to my wife. Because not after doing all the things that you did, you insulted her, you made her to understand that that was not her daughter, and you think she would just wake up like that and pay the bill. No, 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 no. Not after you doing that to her. She will not just pay the bill like that, you know. And he said that he will never, like, to him it's more like, I would rather cry than apologize to that woman. That I can never apologize to somebody like that. Okay, you cannot apologize to somebody like that, but you want that somebody like that to take out their money and pay your child's hospital bill. The same child you said is not her child. You understand? The same child. You want her to pay her hospital bill. No, no. And I like the fact that Kenny told him the truth. And Kenny told him, I am not paying your bill. I have the money, but I will not lend you the money. Because at the end of the day, if even you pay that bill, people will still know that it is Clara who paid the bill, because they know that you're broke. See, even this Kenny is not a serious friend, I swear. Kenny, Kenny has made it like made this guy know that this life no balance at all. He realized that Kenny was not complying, he had to leave. So the next thing shows Clara and Benny. Clara is trying to feed Benny, but Benny was very sad, because she saw on social media what was going on, how people were dragging her, how people were dragging Hanks. And she was not happy about it, because she was convinced, she knew that she never met Hanks there. She knew that Hanks was not there. She never found him there and all the rest. So it's not possible he was not involved. So she is convinced that he had nothing to do with this. He had nothing to do with this. If he did, she would have known, because she never found him there. So she's very pissed when she sees the narrative that people are putting out there. And like us, it's really a pity how people will take something and put it on somebody's head without even trying to find out if that person truly did it or not. So now her mother wanted to find out about the hug, that happened between she and Hanks. Like they say, like, it is more, she has even forgotten, she's even shocked, to hear about this. Then she realized that, oh yes, of course, she went to his office once upon a time, and they hugged and all the, and she explained. And we all saw it, like, as we know it was nothing but an innocent hug. But Debbie being the person that Debbie is, Debbie being the devil's advocate, that only wants evil, that the only thing that interests her was evil, was able to take that video, and those pictures to show Benny's parents. Now, if Debbie was a real woman, if she was a good person, because at this point, I hope that after this hospital, Clara will start asking questions. I hope Clara will be able to ask Debbie questions like, where did you get that video or that picture in the first place? How did you get it? And why didn't you talk about it until the hospital incident? So from there, I hope and I wish that they could try to start seeing from there that there's a mix-up somewhere, and that this whole thing looks staged. I hope from there they'll start realizing certain things. Benny was very angry and bitter why all of this was happening. So the next thing shows a maker, and Jonathan is trying to get, because he couldn't get the money from Clara, he couldn't get it from his friend Kenny. Now he's trying to see if he could get something from Emeka. And we all know that Emeka, even if he borrows you money, it will not be easy. It will not just be a walk in the park. It's not as if he will just take the money like that and give it to you. He will try to sing you, to say one or two things that can even annoy you. So eventually he agreed to lend him the money, but on the condition that he pays very fast, like he does not want his money to stay out for long. He has to be able to pay the money. Like, your friend's daughter. Yes, I know that we all need money. He needs money for his own personal stuff and all the rest. But this is your friend's daughter. This is your friend's daughter and all the rest. So at least the least you could do is to give a helping hand in difficult times like this, without laying down terms and conditions. It's not as if he's not going to pay you back. So while they were talking, this guy showed up, Hanks, because yes, this thing has happened, And Hanks and what's her name, Benny, they have a good relationship. They have a good relationship, and Hanks wants to find out how come Benny sent, like, he's there because he wants to know one or two things. He wants to understand what is going on and what happened. But now, yes, we also know that it is difficult for you to to say that, to feel like, to think that you saw somebody trying to molest your child, and you're trying to protect your child, and you see the person coming to the hospital. It's normal. Hanks's reaction is Kenny's Jonathan's reaction is it's okay. But the problem that I have right now is, this a maker of a guy who knows that he's the author of all of this nonsense, yet he'll still be putting fire, still be poking, be poking. And I'm so angry because Jonathan is not even seeing anything. Jonathan is not even realizing that this is a setup from the pit of hell. I'm angry because Jonathan is fighting somebody that could crush him in a second, and all of this problem is going to be on top of Clara's head. That is the thing. Then Emeka also is not even helping matters. He's pretending that he's separating them, whereas he's trying to he wants Emeka, he wants Jonathan to beat Hanks. The next thing shows Kenny, because Kenny was separating it. Kenny pushed Hanks, out of the way and took him aside and was like, what is it? Yes, he tried to make Hanks understand normally it's normal for this guy to behave the way he's behaving, because you cannot, see that this thing is so hot, this is happening, then you choose to come here to see the child. You have to understand, this is his child. He's trying to protect him, whether to like, and Hanks was trying to prove his innocence, because so Hanks, he wants to find out why will Debbie send him a message in the Benny, sorry, send him a message in the first place. But right now Hanks is not aware that Benny did not send him any message. He's not aware of it. So Kenny is being a very good friend. Kenny is trying to make us understand that go home, rest. Even if you want to talk to somebody, it should be to the mother. If you have to talk, it should be to Clara, so that Clara will be able to talk to her daughter, and find out what is happening. But at this point, Hanks is so pissed that even the Clara that he loves so much, he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. Because to him, for Clara to easily believe that he could do something like that is a shameful thing. Because he thinks that him and Clara stayed together long enough for Clara to know the things that he can do and the things that he cannot do. But for Clara to just jump into conclusion, it is shameful to him. It means that Clara still does not know him. So at this point, he wants nothing to do with her. Yes, he wants nothing to do with Clara. And Kenny, hearing that, Kenny is shocked alive, because Kenny knows how much how Hanks hold Clara in high esteem. Kenny knows how much Hanks cares about Clara. So it means that there's somebody out there pulling strings together. Yes, there's somebody out there who wants this thing to happen, who wants Hanks and what's her name, and Clara to be having issues, to be beefing. Yes. So he's wondering, like, who could be doing this? Who could be responsible? Because Hanks was so angry that he had to leave. And Kenny is wondering, like, who could be behind all of this? Because it smells set up. The way from the look of things, it shows that somebody is working endlessly to bring these people down. Somebody is working overtime to make sure that he or she destroys these people. So he will try his best to get to the bottom of things. It's really a pity, like, as somebody who has a heart to help, people want to bring him down. So the next scene shows Clara, Benny, and Clara's mom with Jonathan that returned home from the hospital. Benny needs to rest and she needs to eat as well. But Clara, by trying to take her daughter upstairs, Jonathan will always want to be Jonathan. He will always want to show himself, even where he's not needed. Because why would you want to stop a mother from taking her child to her bedroom? You know, like all because you want to show yourself. Telling her to respect her boundaries, to respect herself. So because you paid for the child's hospital bill, were you not supposed to pay for her hospital bill? And even the child is confused. Like, she knew that her parents didn't have issues. What is happening? Why are they fighting? What is the problem? Because to her, she couldn't get what was going on. But Jonathan, being Jonathan, he's trying to explain, what is going on. He's trying to make her understand that, well, what is going on is the fact that your mother is the reason why. How can you tell her that her mother is the reason why? That child received a message, and the same way she received a message, her mother received a message too. So you cannot stop her from taking care of her daughter. You cannot stop her. You cannot tell her something else. So Clara just made Jonathan to understand that I don't want to go into this with you. Yes, because you're trying to deprive her of her right as a mother. It doesn't mean that because, even though she didn't say these things, but what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't mean that because she is not her biological daughter, she has been taking care of this child from. If Clara, like, this is to show how of a good mother Clara is, because if the child cannot even know that this is not her biological mother, it's because she has been doing a good job. So Clara, at this point, she was ready to eat anybody who dared her. Yes, she was ready to eat them up. She was not having it, because she has had enough of her mother and her husband. She has had enough of them because their own is just too much, especially her mother. I love the fact that Clara had to put her mother in her shoes, made her to understand that if you've overstayed your welcome, even leave my house if you're not comfortable the way I want things to be. Yes, because if you remember, for 2 weeks I've been angry with this Clara's mother. Because she's those type of mother that will make their children to buy inside their matrimonial home. The same thing that late Mama Osinachi's parents, family did to her is the same thing that Clara's mother is doing. She's a type that marriage is for better, for worse, till death do us part. Yes, even if the husband say he want to buy you, see that he buys you. That is the type of mother. A mother like that will irritate shit out of me. Yes, they will irritate they will bring the worst thing out of me. So I'm happy that Clara was not giving in to her mother and her husband's nonsense, their shenanigans. She was not here for it, because she realized that if she stands there and listens to them, she will get irritated and she'll say things that nobody wants to hear. So she had to take her daughter by force and take her upstairs. I don't know what this Clara's mother is. That's why I always say this thing. If my mother was alive, I get married, you cannot come and stay in my house like that. Yes, you cannot even come to my house no, you have to notify me. I have to notify me. You come to my house for a period of time, you return back to your house. I don't want problems. Because this is the thing, you'll be getting involved in matters that does not concern you. And now, this rubbish man, that knows that as a mother supports marriage, she'll be doing all sorts of nonsense and be putting on Clara's head. I'll be playing the victim, so that Clara's mother will take sides with him. And as she's old school, she wants to take it. I'm so irritated. I can't lie. I'm so irritated. And he's making like he's a man of the house. But which man of the house that cannot pay bills? The next thing shows Jonathan. Somebody rang the bell and he went to open. It was Ebere, his junior sister. And she came and he was angry that she barged into their house without making calls. And this girl, sensible people don't go to people's house without making calls. She had been calling, but he's not been picking. So what was she supposed to do? She had to go because she saw on social media what happened to her niece. She needed to go and find out. That was why she went. And Jonathan will not let her enter. He's just busy looking for associates. He's looking for people to team. How can you, like I said, may we pray not to marry our enemy in the form of husband or wife. I'm serious. Pray not to marry your enemy as a partner. because as soon as his sisters landed, she has not even sat down. The same Clara that you're always holding in high esteem, look at her. Thank God her sister has a mind of her own. She's that type of sister that she's no nonsense person. She'll tell you the truth the way it is. She made her brother to understand that almost nobody can be proud to be married to somebody like you, or to even have a brother like you, because you're a shameless man. And she reminded her brother that she was the one who even begged Clara to marry him, because for you to open your mouth and say Clara's ex did forceful entry on your daughter, were you there? Were you there? I know Hanks you're talking about, and I know Clara. Clara cannot lie. And now, people like this, they will not like you to tell them the truth. Now he's getting angry because he realized that his sister, she has her head on her shoulder. She came there to do her, to see her niece, and to see how things are going. He expected her to be like, where is that Clara? Let me show her now. Let me do. But now she's a very sensible person. She made her brother to understand that, Omo, you cannot woo me to die or rubbish. I am not like you. I have sense of my own. I don't let people tell me what to do. And he doesn't. That is a problem. Jonathan doesn't like people like that. People that will not stand by him. That's why he likes Clara's mother, because he likes to manipulate her so that she will stand by him and stand by his rubbish. Like us, we are going to end this video here. I'm happy because I know that this Jonathan's sister that has come, she'll be the one to help to expose that rubbish, Debbie and Emeka. And she'll be the one to tell him his nonsense, because since Clara's mother has decided that she wants to be that type of mother that will not support her daughter, she will see right, she will say it is wrong. She will see blue, she will say it's brown. Yes, see, at least this one I am certain, I am not 1,000%, but at least I'm somewhere like 70% certain that she should be able to help her brother. Sorry, her sister-in-law. So like I said, don't let anybody toy with your mental health. Okay, your mental health is very important. Don't let anyone toy with it, all in the name of marriage. On this note, I'll have to say